So we've identified entrepreneurs as people who solve problems for profits, right? Well, there's another quote. This is one of my favorites. Entrepreneurs, people willing to work 80 hours a week to avoid working 40 for someone else. This is so true. All of us are doing this business because we want freedom. We don't want to answer to somebody. And in this case, we want residual income. So eventually we can even stop trading time for money. But this is so true. At the beginning of building a business, you need to put in the hours. This is not a business for people that are used to being employees and aren't willing to put in the work. For people that want to avoid working, being an entrepreneur is not for them. Luckily, in this business, if you're willing to do all the work now, it's called a season of your life. Put in the hours that are required, any amount of hours, whatever hours are required to make this work, so that later you can stop working if that's what you choose to do. To be honest, that was one of my biggest motivations of this business. I worked so hard so that the day would come, I could choose not to. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So I just wanted to compare what we're doing here as entrepreneurs building our payments business versus what the rest of the world goes through in their job and the standard steps that society encourages people to take. People go to school for years just to come out in debt. We've seen this. We know what's going on. And people also spend huge amounts of money, sometimes their life savings, or they go and bring on large investors to open businesses that take years to become profitable. This is normal. The cost of building this business is your willingness to put in the hard work and effort to break through that learning curve that we just talked about and begin seeing consistent results. So many people want to rush this business. I told the story about Kevin. Some of you have your first deals already and some of you don't, but it's literally been a couple of days. If you're not where you want to be, which is every one of you, this video is a reminder that we are entrepreneurs and the cost of building this business is your own time. You don't need to invest huge amounts of money to get this business off the ground. You don't need to go into debt. You don't need to wait 4 years or in some cases 8 years for a piece of paper, a degree, or a certificate that says, okay, now you can get a job. You just have to be willing to get through that learning curve. We all want more quicker. And that's a good thing. We want people that are hungry, but understand that you need to be willing to put in the time. Your investment into this business is the time that it's going to take to go through the learning curve and crack the code. So when I talk about cracking the code, what is that? It's when it all clicks and you find your perfect bridge to close and can get consistent production, consistent installs, consistent commissions getting paid, and a consistent residual income. Cracking the code in this business is the holy grail because it's the point that if I go to work full time, I know at the end of the week I will have new accounts. When you get good at this and you just know if I go to work, I will produce, that's cracking the code. Folks, this is the dream of every salesperson. You have a product that if you get it down to the point where you just know if I go to work, I'm going to get new deals. That means you can now give yourself a raise every single day by choice. The choice of showing up and going to work. Once you get good at this business and just know if I put in the doors, if I put in the contacts, if I put in the hours and the days, at the end of this week, at the end of this month, there's going to be new accounts. That's the holy grail of what we're doing here because you can now go give yourself a raise just by choosing to go to work. That's why whatever it takes, this business is worth it to crack the code. Be patient. This was a video to remind you, you are an entrepreneur. There is a learning curve. That learning curve is nothing compared to what the rest of the world goes through in terms of college, debt, and having to invest into a business that may or may not be profitable for a long amount of time. I wanted to remind you that as an entrepreneur in this business, with this company, with EasyPay, with me, your investment is in yourself. Be willing to make that time investment because once you crack the code, it's game on. You will be able to change your life every given day that you decide to go out there and go to work by giving yourself a raise. Isn't that worth any cost?